Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here and welcome back to another episode of Leicester Reborn. In today's episode, we've got a few big games coming up. So we've got Bayern Munich in the Champions League phase, a replay of last year's UEFA Champions League final, a game we lost 4-1 in utter farcical circumstances with the goals we conceded. Be interesting to see if FM decides that they want to just predict another Bayern win or actually allow us to play on a level playing field against them without rearing their ugly head. Yes, I'm not over it. I'm not over it at all. With that being said, we've also got Bournemouth, and you're thinking, Damien, Bournemouth? Why Bournemouth? They're second on the Premier League table after 17 games. They're the only team that look like catching us. They've only lost one game to Brentford. They've beaten United. They've drawn the Chelsea. They're in really, really good form. So this is the sort of game where I tell you, if we win against Bournemouth and we do not lose, I will probably go on to win the title this year. We look like the best team in England. That is correct, we do. We also have Millwall in the quarterfinal of the Carabao Cup, a competition we get to win. As mentioned in the Carabao Cup, no Liverpool to deny us for the third year in a row for this competition. We've made the last two finals, which we've lost. Obviously, we've got Man City and United that we still would have to contend with. Hopefully, either A, they both get knocked out, or B, they both make the semi and one of them gets knocked out, and that's it. In an ideal world, one of them lose, we get the other one in the semi, we win said semi, and we beat the likes of a Brentford or an Everton in a final. That would be great. With that being said, let's get into the episode. Unfortunately, Sam Carter's been injured long term, so not long term, but he's been out. So unfortunately, that's going to happen, and that's going to go like that. Second thing as well, form-wise, fantastic. Been dominating, scoring goals for fun since last episode, which was Chelsea, we won 6-2. Scoring goals, Slovenia were beat 1-0, Stoke 3-0. Then we went on stream tonight, and out of nowhere, we needed an own goal, and one of the funniest own goals you're going to watch, from Godfrey to beat Everton. And you can just tell that the match engine goes, this is a goal highlight, and the graphics engine has no clue what to do when you watch this. Because when the ball's here, you're just like, oh, this should be a goal, right, with Scott. And then you're like, okay, how's this a goal now? How's it still a goal now? This is correct. Godfrey's about to take a touch and kick it into his own net. I kid you not. That is just what happened. I am going to rewind it. I am going to just show you he should be investigated for match fixing. And we're going to watch it from behind the goal. And we're going to watch it a little bit slower. How on earth the match engine and the graphics engine is this bad is a joke. And yeah, yet again, when you're conceding 4 very, 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 very odd goals in the Champions League final, But yeah, look, we should have scored. We don't. Takes a touch and then decides, I'm going to thump this into the post and in. It is farcical. It's funny. It's, I didn't know what to do when that went in on stream. It was pretty funny. We beat Atletico 5-0, drew to Norwich 1-1, and we were very lucky to beat Arsenal 3-2 at home. We just beat Norwich 2-0 with a slightly rotated squad, which is not too bad. It means in the Champions League, if we win today, we're pretty much through. And in the league, as long as we beat Bournemouth in the second game, I don't see a world where most teams are going to catch us unless we go on a massive losing streak. With that being said, unfortunately, we're not at 100% full fitness here. We have been dealing with some injuries and some knocks and what you name it. So the team's not 100% all like, we need to, we've been rested, we look good. Today could be a day that, Bayern beat us comfortably here in the Champions League. In terms of the teams, though, we are looking fantastic in terms of growth. Obviously, Sam Carter, even though been injured, he is up to 4-star. He is fantastic. Livramento's now pretty much 4-star on the left-hand side as well, which is great. Skriniar, Tamori, Thomas, all very good. Great's been playing at a very, very good rate and looking fantastic. But this is where it's been happening. Hassan's been playing out of his skin. Velez has now got up to 14 pace and 14 acceleration, scoring goals for fun, and looks very good. At the moment, he's got 17 and 16. He's got 26 and 23 in all competitions. He's a very good footballer. He is indeed. And then you're having the likes of Yaya doing this and developing, and look how well-rounded he's becoming. He looks fantastic. He's got 7 and 5 in the prem already. And you're looking at we say it every episode, but you're looking at a Lewis Silva who, if it wasn't for Elise, I think he would be nailed on. 6 and 16. And he's got 10 goals in 8 international appearances for Mexico this season. And he's got 13 goals, 7 assists in 23 games. That's 20 goal contributions in 23 games in all competitions. We're having a very good time of it. There is one thing that I want to mention, and it's to do with the 21s. Last year they didn't win it. They came not close, but they were okay. If you look at the under 21 Division 1 table, they are ahead by 9 points. Only lost the one game, which was to Chelsea, and they're flying in the under-21s. It has to be said. We have some kids that are definitely really coming through. If we go to our loan list, however, we do have some issues. Lynch, barely developing. Fuller's been really out of form, so he's declined in terms of ability and potential, which is kind of what happened when he joined us. Obviously, when he's in form, he's got 4-star potential and he's a potential leading Premier League player. You guys know with Fuller that because of the amount of 13s and 14s, I think he will become world class no matter what. Stuart Warren really hasn't developed. Ashby has developed immensely because this guy just scoring goals for fun for Randers. 16 and 16, 21 and 29, and he's 6'5", so backup striker territory. And Stavros is doing okay. So the thing to take out of this is that we've got a good under-21s that are doing well. The 18s are doing okay. There's not too much development in terms of who's world-class in the 18s. I will say we do have a 4-star guy called Gene Cisse, who I didn't think was much, but from last year's intake and now looks okay. As you can see, a lot of guys that are, if they hit their potential leading players. But in the under-21s, we've got a lot of guys that are playing at a very good rate and are doing well and developing well. Fernando Reyes is another one. By the end of this year, he could be starting alongside Manuel Ugarte. The kid is really good. He's mentally switched on. His physicals are becoming world class, and he could be very good as well with the Uruguayan international. So look, team's going well. We're playing well in the Prem. We're going to play Bayern. We're going to play Bournemouth. We're going to give you the end result against Millwall, unless that game gets close and tense. And then in that case, then you'll see the end of that game live here. Hopefully not the chance. It's a chance to exact revenge over the team that we beat in the Champions League final last year. More importantly for me, no matter what happens here, I'm more worried about what happens against Bournemouth. Because they're just killing everybody and overachieving by a mile. If you are enjoying the content, give it a like, do subscribe to the YouTube channel, and if you do like that when I break down the 18s, the 21s, and the players on loan, because once we've won everything, the plan is to get all these players that we brought in to be playing for us. If you like me diving into that, please do. Probably should have went through Bayern Munich's team and see if it was similar to what we played with last year. Hinnicup did not start last year, but he was on their bench. Musiala did start, and he's in here, and he dinks Melier, and he's hit the post. That close to being 1-0 down. Just seeing that the Lit's playing in the hole, that's a good sign for us to get at teams. With that being said, 23 minutes played, 0-0. Highlight not over, now it is. So let's have a look how they're lining up. Kobel, Kimmich, Upamecano, Hinnicup, Davies. Kimmich played in the hole last year, in the midfield with Goretzka. Said the Lit's moved up a line. Warner, Musiala, Tell, who was on the bench, and Carboni. Both of them on the bench and now starting for him. Makes me think they've either semi-rotated or slightly rotated due to fitness, or they've sold a couple of guys. Still a very strong Bayern Munich squad, obviously. And Tomori. Looks long to Luke Thomas. Great ball. Poor touch. Of course it was. But anyway, Kimmich inside. Kobel, Kimmich. They'll play out because it's Bayern Munich. Goretzka, we squeeze. Good ball out to Alphonso Davies, who's world class. He goes on a run. He finds Matthias Tell. De Ligt playing back a line. Picked up by Smith Rowe. Livramento. Elise needs to help him out here. Poor ball. Just yet again, you're playing a big team, so we don't string a pass. Elise deflection and in, we lead 1-0. Weird highlight. No team wanted the ball. Bayern gave it back to us. We gave it back to them. We took it off them again. Chaos highlight. Not a clean highlight. And unlike the Champions League final last year, where we weren't even allowed to sniff, we are the team that score a fortuitous goal. We win the ball back and it takes a deflection and goes bottom bin, and we lead 1-0. Highlight from kickoff. Musiala, Carboni. And Musiala goes back to Alphonso Davies. Poor. Elise is going on a run here. Take him down the line. Decides not to. Instead, loses. And Matthias Tell. And here come Bayern. Good ball. Carboni. Poor mistake from Melier. Don't know where he was running. Melier, may not have saved that he was in a good position, but he gave him an open goal. We can see from kickoff, because it's Bayern Munich, and that's what happens, and it's 1-1. It's hard to beat the really best teams in FM, not because they play better than you, because you deal with that. Where you just give the ball back for no apparent reason and your keeper goes running, out of position by a mile. But anyhow, is what it is. Haven't turned in, how's the save gone? Oh, you've missed a lot, Smarty, because you've missed a lot. Anyway, Thomas with a ball in. Elise. Thuram. Re-whip it. Velez is there. He goes down. He went looking for that. It'll probably get given knowing Football Manager, but Thuram went looking for this one. Is it going to be Velez or Elise to take it from the spot? I wonder. It is going to be Velez. 6'7" Velez with a chance to put us 2-1 up. Bottom bin. And in last year's Champions League final replay, we lead against Bayern Munich. Something we weren't able to do last year. At all. We weren't allowed to. FM decided it. I need to stop being salty. It's probably been too much in this episode. Anyway, Velez puts it bottom bin. It's 2-1. Your great looks dead. Thuram looks dead. And this is the thing. I do have a big game in the Prem coming up against... I know it's Bournemouth. And I know I'm about to say Bournemouth. But Bournemouth are really bloody good. So, yeah. Defensive midfield and support. Ball winning for Linus. He can play that role pretty well. Velez is coming off for Silva as well. I know that's early, but yet again, I need Velez to play against Bournemouth and be fit. I think that's definitely a go. With that being said here, 58 minutes played, we lead 2-1. Also going to make another change here. I am going to get Livramento off for Zand. Marsha in for Skriniar and move this two around. And that's the 5 changes, and we'll move into 4-3-3 a little bit later on. I expect Bayern to come back here with these changes and beat me now, but I've got to make these changes with the Bournemouth game in mind. And this is where we get caught now. About to move into 4-3-3. It was 75th minute in my head that I was going to do. Zan clears, Elise on the break maybe. Need someone to throw up here. Smith-Rowe made the run and then just didn't go wide enough, but it was the right run. I can see the idea there at least. Samuel Ricky, that must be a new signing because I didn't see him on the bench last year. Danny Olmo, who was on the bench from last year but didn't play the final. Musiala, Joey Cancelo, picked off by Linus on the break. Silva turn. We got pace. Elise, look at this. Look at Yaya. If we concede, I'm going to be livid. Silva does well. Finish. Misses the easiest one-on-one of his life. That is really, really, really poor. Won the ball back on the break. Any ball out to Wasana was a goal. And yeah. 77 minutes played. We lead 2-1. Wish we could have done this in the Champions League final last year. Ball gets cleared. Lise now. Probably your highlight after he shoots. Good effort to be fair. Force Kobo into a save. Alright, we're 15 minutes away plus stoppage time, but as you can tell, everyone is dead tired. They are all tired as anything. To be fair, same to Bayern. We both look tired. With that being said, we are moments away from beating Bayern Munich and exacting revenge. Last year, we lost the Champions League final 4-1. It was 4 goals that were utter farcical, silly, stupid match engine stuff in a game where there was none of that, apart from maybe our first goal, which, to be fair enough. We won 2-1, but if you look at the stats, we absolutely dominated Bayern Munich. We definitely deserve to win today, which probably means that I'm more salty now about the Champions League final last year because of the nature of what happened. With that being said, I'm going to see you guys in a moment for the Bournemouth game because they are second in the Prem and we'll be recapping Bournemouth's run for the entire season a little bit more in depth. See you guys then. Be back in a moment. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We got Bournemouth now, first versus second in the league. They got Neil in charge, who he looks pretty good. Apparently he's wanted by West Ham at the moment. Don't know why he would leave. Let's go and have a look at Bournemouth themselves. They have been lining up and winning games and doing well. Look at them. Their first points they dropped in the Premier League in the first month of August was Man City, which was a draw at home. Winning it to start their first 4, losing in the Carabao Cup, which probably helped them. Drew to West Ham, lost to Arsenal, meaning they didn't win in 3 before beating Stoke. The only other loss was Brentford. They beat United and they drew to Chelsea. And where their next big game then Liverpool, which is why this is a big game because if we beat Bournemouth here and then Liverpool beat Bournemouth like they should, we're going to be miles clear and really just running away with the Premier League title. With that being said, I am going to look to go full strength, but it doesn't look like we will. Tomori is going to come out here for Jose Marcha as well, who hasn't played enough minutes to pay ball playing defender, he reckons, even though I think he definitely has, but the game reckons he hasn't. So I'm going to move him in as a ball playing defender. Luke Thomas will play again because I don't think Carter's 100% fit yet. wherever Sam Carter is. Yeah, he's not 100% fit, but he'd be fit for the Cabaret Cup, I feel. And as you can see, we're just running out of a few options about what we can do with this team. But outside of that, we look okay. Now, Manuel Newgray is out. I'm actually going to bring Nardino in, but not to play. I'm actually going to start Reyes in the hole because I think he's very good, and I think Lavia is still injured, or else he would play here as well. Moore was out with a broken leg, unfortunately, too, to report, unfortunately. Against Forest, we rotated, we brought him off the bench, and he broke his leg right in the 90th minute with a lower leg fracture, I should say. So he's out for the next few months. Was developing really, really well, too. So still keep an eye out for Aaron Moore, but big setback there, too. But the team to play first versus second is Melier, Livramento, Skriniar, Marshall, and Thomas. Reyes and Thuram, which I think is fine. Elise, Smith Rowe, Asana, and Velez. I think there's more of a world where we go ballistic, we absolutely pump them, and then we can rotate and rest and make sure people are fit for Millwall, who, obviously that's a competition we need to win, so still will go full strength. We should pump Millwall about like 9 goals, but yeah, let's see what we can do, and let's get into this part of the second game, a game where if we win, I really do think that unless Bournemouth beat Liverpool and continue to win games after this game, I think winning today, we would probably go on to win the title unless we lost like 3 or 4 games in a row. With that being said, 18 minutes played. Bournemouth have had more shots than us inside the first 20 minutes, so there you go. This isn't a pushover. This is Bournemouth playing good football, and here we are. With that being said, it's a corner. It's Elise. It's Skriniar who doesn't win it. Elise will win the header and put it back in the box. It gets cleared, only as far as Hassan. He knows how to hit him, and he does. He hits the bar and it falls to Musso. Nearly went in from distance. It is only 0-0. And, not dominating, not flying away with the game. I expected us to dominate this a little bit more. Instead, it's 0-0, and the Premier League title definitely not over this season by any stretch of the imagination. I really do think it should be over, but instead, it's not. Starting to dominate now here against Bournemouth, but at 0-0, all it takes is 1 goal for Troy Parrott. And that's the thing. Let's have a look at their team, because we really have skipped over this, haven't we? Musso in net, decent keeper, the Argentinian. Donovan's at right back. How we have not scored with him at right back, I don't know. Ilya is world class, is still here somehow. Batella's pretty well rounded. Riquelme's okay. Mohamed Kamara's alright. Reader's okay. Trossard's a pretty good pickup, very experienced. Byskov, Hamad Traore's okay. Troy Parrott's actually a really good pickup at 25 years of age. Their bench has got Timon. No one really shouts out to you. That's a very weird team to be second in the Prem, to be fair. They should still be getting nearly relegated with that tie. But yeah. Anyway, time ticking. It's only 0-0. Nothing has happened out here. With that being said, let's make some changes. Silva in for Elise. Smith Rowe for Scott. Because both are in some decent form. Thuram's dead. I'm actually going to move Hassan back a line, and I'm going to bring Yaya in. And Livramento is going to come out. Is he? He's probably too good of a player to take out here. I'll leave that one and do that. Here we go. 70 minutes played. 0-0. For a game that I was expecting to dominate, we've dominated, but do you think we've scored? We're about to get FM'd, aren't we? This is going to be an FMing. Bournemouth could win the league this year because they're FMing sides like no tomorrow. I'd love to look at the data hub after to see how they actually have done this. We win the ball back here. Scott, Livramento, with the right ball, we're out. Silva's quick. Beats one. Big switch. Finds Yayo, who's in immense form. Needs help. Still running. Thomas is with him. Got options in the box. Poops one in there. Silva heads down. Hassan hits. Well over. 78 minutes played. Another throw in. Kamara. Inside ball. Jose Marshall doesn't win. Kamara again. Good squeeze, but we don't get there. Ilya, who's captain, who is a very good player. Patella. Arambari. Patella. Traore. Should be able here with Silva. Silva's away. He's quick. Should be beating men. He does. Velez is with him. He goes for goal himself. What a save from Musso. Fingertips around the post. We're not beating Bournemouth today. We will not be beating Bournemouth today. We cannot score. Poor performance. Really bad performance. Yaya's ball in. Velez heads over the bar. 6'7", wins a header inside the 6-yard box. You think he scores? No. 19 shots, 5 on target, 3 shots, nothing. Bournemouth are going to hang on for dear life. Oh, man, this is a really bad result. And there we go. 21 shots, 5 on target. Bournemouth do absolutely nothing, don't have a shot on target, finishes 0-0. This sums up Bournemouth's season. Really not happy. We'll get angry with the boys. We're going to go find Velez for missing those couple of big chances. Let's go have a look how Bournemouth are and how on earth they are where they are. Bournemouth should be 6th. They're currently 2nd. 3 under there. That 18 goals under their expected XG. What the? And 14 points more. That 18 goals under their 2.61. Whoa. That's a massive overperformance. Bournemouth have conceded 8 goals all year. They've expected to have conceded 26. And they've only conceded 8. FM kind of handling it to them. They're FMing a lot of sides at the moment. That is ridiculous. Let's just go have a look at a couple of these 0-0s then. Or something. Well, to be fair, Chelsea did not much. We obviously did alright. Man United maybe dominated them. United 1.7 XG, didn't score. West Ham 1-1 maybe. West Ham 2.27, yeah, only conceded 1 goal. Wow, they won a lot of games to nil, which they probably should have conceded in. 2.14 kept the clean sheet. Yeah, Bournemouth having one of those freakish years. We're only 8 points clear in the league. Liverpool have 2 games in hand. We can't get away from us in the league. Any other league season, right now we are miles clear and we're winning the title. The title's already over. But because Bournemouth Football Club refused to concede goals, this title's still alive. Really hate this. In our best year, and a year where we're dominating the Premier League, and lest we forget, we're still undefeated after 18 games. It just doesn't have the feel that this title is over, does it? Because Bournemouth refused to concede. I'll see you guys in a second here for the Millwall end result, and of course the draw for the semi-final, if we make it, of course, or else I'll be giving you guys the end of Millwall and us losing. Here we are, YouTube. Carabao Cup semi-final draw. We absolutely mauled Millwall 5-0. Velez scoring a brace, 5.14 XG for 5 goals. Could have been a bit more. Yaya, Silva, they all got in on the act. I did rotate semi through the middle of the park, as you can tell, with Yaya, Scott, Silva, and Tarum with you. Great starting. When I mean rotate, I mean these 3, basically. But yeah, Marshall also played as well, trying to get him happy that he's playing minutes in his preferred role, even because I want to keep him now, considering we didn't sell him. So we've done very well. Unfortunately for us, no big results in terms of United and City going out. So it is very likely we're going to get one of those 2 in the semi. But without further ado, let's go. I really want to be the second leg away from home. This will be next episode. Leicester, oh, that's not good. Brentford, Man City. All right, we get Manchester City. We get the hard one. Brentford United. There's a world where Brentford can do a job. It looks very likely that it's going to be us playing against Man United, but we never know. With that being said, next episode is going to be a focus on that one. I know we played Liverpool in the meantime, and we already played them away from home. We got a draw, which was a couple episodes ago. Look, as much as we can say that the league title isn't over, Liverpool this early on, with so many games to go, isn't going to decide the title, but it is going to obviously put us in a position of we're going to be very dominant. Obviously, there's a world where Bournemouth will eventually start conceding goals. There's no way they're going to concede like 10 goals or 13 goals all season after giving up 40 chances. With that being said, we've looked good. We will continue to remain good. We beat Bayern Munich in the replay. We drew to Bournemouth, even though we dominated, and we beat Millwall 5-0. Next episode is Manchester City home and away in the Carabao Cup semi-final. I'll see you guys then. Thank you for yet again joining another episode. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you and goodbye.